Hello and welcome, or welcome back to my channel. My name is David Novak. It's not for you, my dear. I am going to try out these new cheese flavor Oreos before they disappear. These are not for you. Individual packets. Ooh, they're like little mini Oreos. Look at this. Lovely. Yeah, this is your standard sort of design, I would guess. And then on this side, isn't that cute? Look at that. That is wonderful. Oreo. We'll see how it goes. Now listen, these are not for you. Perhaps I should save this till later. Nice. I've been busy proofreading the poems of my new book. I am hoping by tonight to have finished this selection from the first notebook. There are 3 notebooks total. So I will make corrections and then upload them to the Microsoft Word program, and after I fiddle with it, probably they will be due for a second proof read before the project is over. But I have to finish the book first. But I thought I would read some of these poems. Because why not? On August 26th of 2020, I wrote a poem for Anthony Huber, who was killed up in Kenosha. And that was actually the start of this YouTube channel before I became a booktuber. That was the purpose. I'll read that one just to start things off. It is, if I can figure out how to format everything, it is going to be in a sort of a prefatory section of the poem, of the book. So this is Anthony Huber, rest in peace. All who remember you recount a man of peace, and we know that you strove upon the cause of justice. No amount of reminiscing and remembering in earnest lamentation may lessen or ameliorate the sting of such a passing in our fractured nation. Your death, high sacrifice in human love. You had the world before you, yet devoted to the cause of justice, time finite and precious. Ours remains the debt that we cannot repay, although we try a lifetime in endeavor. For we survive, and having seen you die, may yet partake of joys that you may never, because curtailed, your life shorn through a crime. Yes, we survive, if for a while, yet even as we live, the truth be told, that death in such a cause does not defile, and death remains the common end of things. But honor, you a martyr, remains a rarity life seldom brings, although a man be richer, wiser, smarter, or even live until a ripe age old. Within a national moment, you abjured to stand upon the sidelines, but entered the fray, and even strove to do heroic action in the midst of crisis, amid the great upheaval, displaying virtue as no man despises, save men that have surrendered to great evil, and by such evil, so your life was cut. Heroes and martyrs be the few, whereas the tepid, lukewarm, and infirm, these be the many. Such a man was you, a man who in the cause of justice fell. Yet if persists the ardor, a man whose story none may cease to tell. Though times grow darker, direr, drearer, harder, and men beneath injustice writhe and squirm. These paltry words can never make just compensation for the worldly loss, even as hearts have broken and will break. Yet in the great accounting here to come, in the eternal balance, when in the soul's tribunal men stand dumb, lo, here was one escaped the snares and talons of vile iniquity, his life not dross. I think I said his life was cut through a crime, but I'm not sure that that was what the jury decided on. Even though I have been through these now a second time, I'm still not that familiar. Well, I'll read. Mahmoud Khalil is still in detention. Others have been released. Words on the abduction of Mahmoud Khalil. We knew the destination. There was no secret at all. Yet people acted unaware and let events befall. With little effort made or care, the crisis to forestall. Then let Masada fall. The fascist heart identified, its threat was never small, as evil cancer lurked inside, poised to encompass all. Justice that is diverged from wide reduces man to crawl. Then let Masada fall. They came and took Mahmoud Khalil, per whim executive. The state thereby itself did kill. For how can freedom live when spirit has been choked? So spill such consequence as must arrive, then let Masada fall. The reasons were brought forth, but they all struck the ear as false. For truth absconds when lies hold sway, and poverty of mind appalls. They heeded none, but forced their way. So now predestination calls, and now Masada falls. That poverty of mind, I half considered italicizing the word of, because it is obviously a throwback to a line by William Blake, but I ultimately decided not to do that. This is my poem about the famous cloture vote, the cloture vote that supported fascism. Let us remember turncoats 9 who went against their party, then add one more who crossed the line to vote with fascists smartly. Catherine Cortez Masto is the first, Dick Durbin second, John Fetterman the third in this sad, treacherous tally reckoned. Fourth, Kirsten Gillibrand, then fifth comes Maggie Hassan next. All voted to approve the grift, Pledge of Allegiance vexed. Angus King sixth, then Gary Peters as seventh, so compounds the lot of those who side with cheaters as infamy redounds. Eighth, Brian Schatz. Ninth, Charles Schumer. Then lastly, Jean Shaheen. Their love of country proved but rumor than avarice less keen. Let us remember turncoats 10 who went against their country, voting with fascists. It was then betrayal, to put it bluntly. Oh, this was a short one. This was from March 27th. Somebody got really upset about it. Titled, Do Not Come to America. Do not come to America. They'll shoot you in the street or disappear you without law for them to starve and beat, or send you to a labor camp down in El Salvador. There is an on but no off ramp, an in but no outdoor. I note in the introduction, which, well, I don't have the, oh, here it is, I think. Yeah, I'm starting the introduction to my book. It's mostly done, but there's probably more to go at the back of the notebook. Meanwhile, the poems are continuing from the front, and I'm kind of thinking they might meet in the center. That would be nice. If not, if there's a gap of white pages, that's fine. I'll just use it for something else. But I noted that early on, we weren't really sure. Nobody was really sure what was going on. What was the nature of this prison in El Salvador and so forth. A lot more information has become known. This is called Shed Not a Tear for Empire. Shed not a tear for empire, for it was bound to fall. Its people in distemper, not great, but of minds small. Hubris it was that drove them, which now has been revealed, farcical feint. To love them requires a different field. Despite a world's observers, they cast an inward eye, becoming mere self-servers, lacking humility. So that, despite professing their greatness and what's for, the world has learned a lesson such bloviatings bore. Well, I can't do the one on Bughouse Square because there's a word in there that was mistyped and I have no idea what it should be. I always want to pick one out that's in a different meter. How about the pustule president? Adjudicated rapist and a 34-count felon. This was the man they voted into office. A man whose proven lies surpass the countin' and the tellin'. A profligate in grifting while in slander not a novice. They saw him boldly laugh about the grabbing of a pussy and mock a man congenitally disabled. He liked to golf instead of working or watch I Love Lucy, and vowed future elections, if he won, would all be tabled. What did the folks who voted for him in the least expect? His devastation wrought fulfilled a promise, and even pushed the boundaries unexpected, how he wrecked achievement of his predecessors, Biden's and Obama's. But even reaching all the way back to the nation's founding, the pride of civil government unbroken, 250 years in its duration, quite astounding, he toppled with a gangster's threats, though mainly left unspoken. Intimidation tactics neutralized many a coward, but many others were compromised. Their own corruption underlay the nightmare when it flowered, whereby the pustule president was not easily excised. Well, I said 250. Of course, it did not make it to 250. 249. A later poem corrects that. I'll read this one that makes reference to my dear Claude McKay. This is titled No False God. How many lies have been revealed? It changes up the playing field, except, of course, it is no game. We fight for life and stand our claim. I will not let the fascists win while they give carnage better spin, but tell the world each heinous deed as we move forward with great speed. If we must die, so it may be the grave awaits for you and me, or at the fascists' hands or not, some of old age or others shot. It matters little in the end, but I have stood beside a friend and castigated every foe, despising their Guantanamo. If we must die, heed now these words. History's work with them accords. I stand with them, including Claude, who spoke truth and served no false god. This one is titled The Dipshit. The dipshit did not understand that due... I think there's a mark here that shouldn't be. Pardon me. I've already been through this page and I missed something. The dipshit did not understand that due process especially applies to all as a demand that justice not act rashly. Without due process, just you wait, you will not be exempt. When you receive the brunt of hate, then you may feel verklempt. Right now, it's merely other folks who find themselves subjected, while fascist hand subverts and chokes rights legally protected. Tomorrow, it may fall on you, the onus of injustice, though you may have scant time to rue. Hate rapid and robust is. Oh, this is titled Elon Musk's two titles. Musk holds 2 titles with his name. The richest man in all the world is first. The second, record held for children's deaths caused to his shame. Coincidence? It may not be. The facts exist for all to see. Well, I will let you go pretty soon. I can do this again. Okay, I'll close off with, I don't know if I read this last time. I don't know what I read last time. This one is titled The Ice Man. I get up in the morning and perhaps have some cornflakes, then get my gear and pray to God that I have what it takes to do it conscientiously, this job that I get paid for, though I would never have predicted it's what I was made for. I have to don a mask because our faces need concealing, as on the street, it's other person's liberty we're stealing. We sneak behind a girl, or as we're supposed to say, young woman, while she is minding her own stuff, as you may be assuming. This one's a student. It may be she'll have a test tomorrow, but she will never see it, though she beg or cheat or borrow. She's learning bitter lessons in the grander school of life, that there are guys like me alive, although I have a wife, who don't care if her future is the thing we have destroyed. ICE agent justice gets you. It's not easy to avoid. A permanent exile from every person that you've known, nor will they know about you or wherever you have gone. What happens when we've disappeared you is not our concern, and loss of our due process rights may come for us in turn. But right now we are needed and the paycheck's mighty fine, and it's not ours to worry about what happens down the line. They'll never see their girl again, but what is that to me? She was a foreigner inside the country of the free. Or maybe she was born here, but how would we ever know? Our business isn't whence she came, nor where she has to go. Anything else? I don't feel like touching on Eric Thiel. I think I'll leave that there at this point. I will continue with my beverage of choice and my cheese flavored Oreos. Thank you for stopping by.